So how are we doing on this Friday night? I'm in the green room, as you can tell by the walls and the crap behind me. Man, this week has definitely been a bipolar week of Mother Nature. Monday temperatures, 50-ish degrees, 60-ish degrees, no big deal. Wednesday, it kept going up and up and up. And Wednesday was like 70, 75 degrees. I was trying to make a video, but I kept getting sidetracked and, the oh look, a squirrel moment kind of thing. And I said, hell with it. I'll do it sometime, between Wednesday and Friday. And yesterday was too damn cold, plus it rained all day long. And then today, it was colder than a witch's ass, and spitting snow and everything else. Now tomorrow's supposed to be 50-something degrees, and Sunday's supposed to be 65 or something like that. And then the rest of the week is supposed to keep going up and up and up, and then we're going to tank again towards the weekend, and then it's supposed to be going back up again. Yeah, this Kentucky area, Mother Nature is bipolar so bad she needs meds like you would not believe. But it's okay, because it's what, middle of February-ish, and within a few weeks it'll be March, and first day of spring's what, March 20th. I was always taught it's the 21st of the month. Say like March 21st, first day of spring. But everybody else, well, it's the 20th. Well, I don't know. I just know when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, my grandparents always told me every 3 months on the 21st is the new transition of spring or fall or summer or winter, or however you want to call it. So yeah, it is what it is. But anymore, our winters are it's like fall, winter, and spring, all three mixed together. And then when we're supposed to get spring, sometimes it's all jacked up and crazy. So you don't know what you're going to get. The only thing I do know what you're going to get in the summertime is if you have allergies from about March to about July, it's going to kill you. And then from about August to November, it's going to kill you, allergy-wise. And, then wintertime, there's nothing to really technically that's going to bother you unless we get like these warm days that we've been having. And our trees are starting to bud and pop with, little buds and flowers and everything else. And tree pollen is my kryptonite. It kills me every year. I love springtime, but when the trees come out, it kills me. Oh, what are you going to do? Bend and grit and take it like a champ, that's all I can say. Now, a couple of days ago, I got me a little bitty present. The buck that I got midsummer of this past summer has indulged enough to get me a miniature little baby goat now. I do got pictures of it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the picture of my baby goat that I got a couple of days ago. Actually, it was actually the day after Valentine's Day. I'll put his picture up on for the picture thing for the video, and y'all can see it and everything else. I wish Montez was supposed to have shown me how to edit and all this other stuff, and I've tried watching videos how to edit, and watching something and somebody showing me firsthand, it's a whole different experience. I'm a hands-on kind of person. I can read stuff all day long. I can read it. I can know what you're saying, but I'll never figure it out. That's how it goes. I think you call me bipolar too, or something of the nature. I don't care. But so many things have taken place and fallen into place, and I'm learning new recipes, and I'm getting new things to make and create and everything else. I've said it before, I would like to show y'all some of the crap that I put together and how I make things and everything else. But until I get my back porch, mudroom, broom, however the hell you want to call the damn thing, once it gets built this year, I get all my crap out there, and I don't have to have anybody in the kitchen messing with things and getting me pissed off and sidetracked and moving this or moving that. I'll do it out there once everything's said and done. But as long as I'm in the house, I will never have peace and quiet all the time. So that's why I don't do it, because somebody will come in or do something or move something or, spill something, and I don't want to mess with it. I'd just rather just bide my time and wait, and there it is. Now, I did have a person I went to school with. She came by, what is it, Thursday. She came by Thursday, picked up a bunch of stuff. She had seen the list of things that I make for market. She picked out a couple of things. And of course I had some other stuff I had already pre-made, and I was like, here, take this and this and this, and here's some of this, and here's some of that. And yeah, she's, as far as I know, she's tickle pink. She had the pizza bread, and she said it's absolutely, just wonderful. She said she attacked the first loaf of it, and I'm glad, Of course, she said, later down the road that she would come back and, pick out a couple other things and, I guess set up some kind of a payment system, I guess you call it, which I understand, it is costing me money to make this stuff, but there's a lot of times I like giving stuff away, and, but right now when everything's crazy priced, I can understand, why some people just like beat their heads against the wall and say I'm stupid because I give stuff away. But I enjoy just making people happy. Money's not everything. I understand it helps, and when you don't have it, it's really nice to have it. But a lot of times with me, money's not everything. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. It just depends on my mood, like that little light switch thing. You never know. I have started making elderberry syrup kits. And I say kits because I got all the ingredients and stuff like that. Well, actually, not all of it. I got majority of it put together in a bag. And the only thing that I can't put in there, which is the honey, and that's, if I could find dehydrated powdered honey, I'd probably put it in there, but it would screw everything up. And the only thing I do not supply is if you use brandy or if you use vodka. Of course, a lot of people, I would say a lot of people, some people I've seen don't put any of that in there, and some people do. But it is what it is. Everybody has their personal choice. Like me, I make all kinds of stuff with alcohol, but I don't drink. I very, very, very moderately sip anything with alcohol. I just don't like the flavor of it. Now, there's only one thing I will drink that's considered alcohol, and that's a Corona. But I don't drink enough Corona in a year's time to even equal a six-pack. Just how it is. Once, like I told this person that came over the house this past Thursday, I said, when I had my CDL, actually from the time I was in high school, before I got my CDLs, I was wild as hell. I mean, I made Cheech and Chong look like a saint. I partied hardy. I kicked my heels up. I made the traditional Irish, thing. It was pretty much true. But it wasn't all the time. It was like every so often. And but once I got my CDLs, I quit everything. And like I told her, I said, when it costs you now this was in the early to mid 90s. It cost me like $10,000 to get my CDLs. And I said, spend that much money, you don't want to do something stupid and lose them. So I quit everything. I just actually, caffeine, nicotine, and greasy ass hamburgers and truck stop food, and that's all I did. And I kept my right door closed until I got from point A to point B. Unless I needed fuel, then I got fuel. But other than that, I kept on rolling. when you're getting paid so many cents per mile, you know, you don't want to sit around, trash a truck stop, kick your feet up, and be like, oh, I'm going to be late. No, just keep on going. And once you get to your destination, if you got time to kill, then there's your kick-up time. Until then, you know, you just keep on driving. But, you know, that's how it is. And then I went to my eye doctor, it was yesterday, and it's broken up some of the particles I had inside my eye. These little, they call them clusters, they've broken up some, and I got some vision back in it, but my retina is still stuck, and it's like still kind of looking down, and I gotta go see a specialist. I think April, March, somewhere around there. I have to look at the paperwork. Even though I can see certain things, I'm still having issues with it. Like I told my eye doctor, when I'm out in the real bright sunlight, sometimes I have to cover my eye a little bit because the sun just basically it's like migraine on steroids. It hurts like hell. So, of course, I got me an eye patch. I look like, you know, Mr. Pirate Man, and I wear it occasionally. I don't wear it all the time, but I wear it occasionally. Especially when it's real bright, because, you know, like I said, you know, I get massive migraines, and you've ever had a migraine like that, you definitely don't want to go out in the sun and get another migraine. Hell, having kids and being married to migraine up sometimes. But, you know, it's my choice. I'm the one that got into it. I'm the one that did it, so, you know, it is what it is. But with some of the rising costs, like I was watching the TV today, and a lot of the food producers are actually raising their prices up a lot more, because they said evidently even what they moderately went by, like the 3% interest rate, whatever, you know, for inflation, that, you know, they're still losing money, so they're going to have to jack up their prices another 8 to 11%. And I'm thinking, well, that's nice, because, you know, we're getting screwed right now, you know, with everything that price-wise, and now we're about to get even more screwed on everything, because for whatever reason. So I've told people for years, you know, stockpile some foods, you know, stockpile some water, you know, canned goods, learn canning, learn how to cook, learn how to dehydrate, prep as much as possible. And a lot of people laughed at me. They're like, why? Everything's cheap and everything's this and there's nothing wrong, and why do I want to take up space when I could be using it for whatever? And, you know, and now occasionally I'll get somebody like, man, I should have listened to you. I should have went out to, like when you were going out to the butcher shops buying all this meat and stuff and storing it up for excess amount of time. And of course, you can't freeze meat all the time. You got to use it eventually. But, you know, there's a lot of dry stock that I did get. And people are like, you're going to eat that many beans. Well, no, not off the bat I won't. But if you break it up for, like, like this time of year, you know, we'll have beans for dinner for like once a month, twice a month sometimes. And, you know, put a little fat back in it, make some cornbread, or make some sweet cornbread. Boom, there you go. There's a hell of a dinner right there for you, on top of anything else. But, you know, that's how it is. You know, I grew up poor. You know, my grandparents grew up there during the Depression. They lived like the Depression, even though they were up in age and the Depression was many years past. And you know, they stocked up food like crazy. And a lot of it was canned food, stuff that they had grown and she had canned. And my grandmother never cooked anything out of a can or a box. Everything was made from scratch. And the only thing that wasn't made from scratch was the meat if they cooked it, or the fish, because they went to the store and got it, but then they prepared it and, you know, stored it back and everything else. So, you know, yeah, I mean, that's how I grew up. And but trying to tell people younger than me ways and things to, you know, to curb the hiccups in life, you know, they, you know, spend, spend, spend. You know, I'm not worried about nothing. You know, even though I'm living paycheck to paycheck, spend, spend, spend. Let's go out and have a good time. I'm not worried about it. You know, and I had a couple people I know some years ago say, I'm not going to worry about it till I get to a certain age. And by then, you know, then I'll worry about it. I'm like, well, by the time you get to that certain age, you're going to wish to God that you had saved what you're throwing your money away on now, and used it for something else, and or saved it for something else. And they just kind of laughed and shrugged their shoulders like, I don't care. So, you know, it is what it is. And that's one of the problems I have with a lot of people way younger than I am. When you try to tell them, you know, save your money, you know, spend a little bit of it, but majority of the time save your money. Like my nieces, my nephews, and all them, I tell them all the time, save your money, save your money. And if you buy something that you can get a return on. And like my nephew right now, he's in Fort Hood. Of course, I said, being on post, it's kind of hard to do certain things because there's so many rules and regulations and restrictions and everything else. I said, but you know, instead of, you know, paying $200 and $300 or $400 on tattoos, buy a few guns. I mean, I don't care if you got to storm in the armory. You know, if you can't, if he lives on post, I said, storm in the armory, do what you got to do, or, you know, storm off post at, you know, somebody's place that you can trust, and, you know, so that way whenever time comes and you get out, you know, you might have something that you can really make some bank on. Because like I told him, you know, there's a lot of surplus guns like M44s and SKSs and M79, Yugo M79, stuff like that. You know, 10 years ago, well, actually 10 to 12 years ago, you could get, you know, they were, I mean, 12 to 15 years ago, they were cheap. I bought a Mosin Nagant 9130 soaked in creosote, or not creosote, but cosmoline, and I had to take care of it. I had to scrub everything, take all the crap off, all the grease and everything else. I paid like $90 for it, and I bought 3 of them. And later down the road, I traded one of them. I traded another one. Then I sold my third one when I had some issues. And now, if you can find a 9130 in crappy condition, mismatched numbers, you're going to spend like $300-$400 on a surplus rifle. There's a guy on Facebook, on one of the groups I belong to on there, has an M44 Russian bolt-action rifle with 800 rounds of ammunition and something else, and he's selling the whole package deal for like $850. I can get a 440 round sealed tin silver tipped ammo, which is steel cored, for like $150-$200. And you know, yeah, it's crazy. And if you can find an M44 for less than $300, jump on it. Well, anything surplus wise, jump on it. Because after Obama decided during his reign of like, well, we're gonna quit importing anything from Russia weapon wise and munitions wise as well, or we're gonna trickle it very, very thinly. So yeah, I mean, you know, that was the start of it. And yeah, some of these people have weapons that look like they've been tied behind the pickup truck and went down a 2 or 3 mile gravel road with a string tied behind the truck with the gun bouncing across the roadway. And they're like, oh, I want $400 for it. And dumbasses are paying for it. So since the dumbass will pay for it, then, you know, everybody's like, well, if he's going to do it, I'm going to charge crazy ass price too. The first SKS I ever bought in my life, I was 17 years old. I bought it from a place called Rose's. It's a southern style department store. I bought my SKS from Rose's Shopping Center here in town when I was 17 for $80, and that was with tax and everything. And it was a Model 56 Chinese SKS. If you can find an SKS nowadays for less than $300, it's a miracle. and it's a surplus rifle as well, you know, and that's crazy, you know. And it's like this one guy, the guy that was selling the M44 with 800 rounds and some specialized trigger on it and some other stupid shit. And I said, dude, I can go down the road and buy a complete lower for an M4 for like 500 bucks. Go to PSA and buy me an upper for like 100, anywhere between 100 to 150 to 175 for the upper. And, you know, I'll have me a working M4 or AR or however you want to call it. And yeah, granted, it won't have the knockdown power as the M44 will, because, you know, if you ever shot at 7.62 by 54R, you know that they got some ump. I mean, they will drop a deer, they will drop a person like not even winking an eye at. I mean, they got some ump into them. But like I said, prices are crazy, and I tell people all the time, you know, instead of buying stupid shit, buy a couple guns, put it back if you can get them cheap, because later down the road they're going to be worth even more money. Because it seems like the older I get, a lot of the stuff that I did have, if I was going to replace it, shit, I'd spend thousands of dollars on just randomly stupid shit. But, you know, that's why I'm not going to do it. What I have is what I have, and, you know, I'm not going to go out of my way to, you know, make somebody else's pockets deeper buying something that shouldn't be the prices of what it is, you know, what they're selling it for. But there is one thing I'm on the lookout for, and I know there's a place down the road over in Nelson County, a place called Kentucky Gun Company. They have it, and I haven't been there in some years. But they got a double barrel 410 breakdown, and I want me a double barrel 410 so bad. I've wanted one for years. I used to have a single shot 410, which was fun, but, you know, it was a youth model. I want a full, you know, full long barrel 410, big old smooth bore, so I can use it for shot and everything else. And, you know, I used to hunt with my great-grandfather's 410 and grew up squirrel hunting with it, and I loved it. Truthfully, anymore, almost any shotgun you get anymore has that stupid rifle barrel in it, and, you know, if you're going to use it for shooting deer or something like that, I can understand. But, you know, you buy the gun for X amount of dollars. I'm like, oh, now you got to buy the smooth bore because that one has a rifle bore on it. Why don't you just put a rifle, take off the rifle bore and put the smooth bore on there and do it that way? No, but you got to spend more money because you got to buy this other barrel, because you can't. Well, you can, but it's not good to shoot like birdshot down a rifled barrel because you screw up the rifle lines and everything else. It is what it is. Now, off all that topic right there, go on to the next topic. Let me get me a sip. Since the price of eggs has gone through the roof, a lot of people in my area have been all of a sudden, let's get some chickens and sell eggs. A dozen eggs, not from the store, like somebody say, if somebody has them at the house, they raise their hens, they lay eggs, whatever. They're selling a dozen eggs for about between $4 and $8 for a dozen eggs. And I'm really hoping that this price of things like this stays on for the market, because whenever mine start to lay, I'm gonna be like, you know what, that's cool, I'm gonna charge $1 more. I'm gonna go up $1 my dozen eggs. When I go to market, my eggs are gonna be $3 a dozen. It's gonna piss people off, and I don't care, because I will undercut your ass just because I can. And that's how it is. Now, some people kind of laugh and they say, well, that's the American way, you know, that's capitalism at its best. You know, I just look at it as, you know, There's no reason to be greedy. There's no reason to be stingy. There's no reason to price gouge like a son of a bitch just because you can. You know, like there was one person that a while back told me, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. And I totally agree with that. But, and sometimes I fall in that category of just because you can do it doesn't mean you should, but I've done that stuff before, so, you know, I'm kind of calling the kettle black on that, but it is what it is. But hopefully here within the next couple of weeks, everything should take a turn. I'll be able to be out in the yard more, you know, showing off what I'm doing. Monday I'm having surgery, so I know at least from the 20th until at least the 25th-ish, you won't see me at all. I'm gonna be like a ghost and just not do anything unless something really crazy happens and I gotta do something to get it off my head or off my chest or show it or something. It's not gonna take place, just to let you know. But the good thing about it is in March I get to renew my certification paper for the state of Kentucky for my processor's license. Then I get to renew my fishing license, and I might get a hunting permit with my fishing license. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to wait and see. I haven't been hunting in years. I really haven't. I mean, every time I wanted to go hunting, the wife had to work. I had to watch the kids, or something took place and I couldn't go. So yeah, hunting to me, I mean, I enjoyed hunting. Don't get me wrong. But it's just one of those things right now, I'm like, I really don't care. You know, I'd much rather go fishing because, you know, as long as I catch the fish within the limits of within the state rules and regulations, you know, I'd much rather eat fish than I would, you know, a bunch of squirrels that, you know, you would have to shoot a shit ton to make a long worth of dinners with. But I did run across this one lady. She's here in town. She raises rabbits, and she raises them, she slaughters them, and cleans them and everything, and she sells basically rabbit meat. And that's one of the things I kind of have her saved to the side because I plan on trying to get, I don't know, say 15-20 pounds of rabbit after it's been processed. Because I could you know, quarter that up a certain way and, you know, put it in the freezer. And we can have, man, rabbit stew is really good. Baked rabbit, like you would like a roast, is really good too. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can fix rabbit. And, yeah, it's really good. I know a long time ago we had a bunch of rabbits a long time ago out here in the yard. And I got them for raising. And then eventually going and use them for food. And the kids were like, oh, you can't do that, that's our pets. And the wife was the same way, and I was like, well, shit, I'm going to put all this money on these damn rabbits. I can't freaking kill them. So we had them for a while, and eventually, you know, I was like, you know what? If I can't eat your ass, I'm going to let your asses loose. And I did. And over a period of time, you were seeing rabbits, wild rabbits that would have like a black spot or some, you know, their coats would be completely off keister because my tame rabbits mixed with some wild rabbits, and now they're, you know, it's a weird combination. And I know that technically I could get in trouble for that if I was to do it now, because this was years and years and years ago. But, you know, yeah, they really frown upon that, because one of the things I was wanting to do is start into quail, because I want quail because I like them because they're itty bitty, you know, they don't take up much room, and feeding cost is really cheap, and I can use the eggs for selling wise, just like I could do like chicken eggs, and you know, of course it takes a lot more and prices are different, but I enjoy quail. And if push come to serve, I could have me a little squab about the big around barbecue cooked up on the grill or in the broiler one. And, you know, it's just as good too. But I was going to populate a bunch of them and take them out to the farm, because quail is almost unheard of around the farm right now. And I kind of brought that up to one of the guys I know that works with the game wardening type thing, and they're like, "Oh, you can't do that. That's a whole different species. You can't be doing that." And I was like, "But it's quail." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's a different variety form. You can't take a tame bird and then release them and make them wild." And I was like, "Well, when pigs get out of a pig pen, they become feral and they roam around the countrysides, and you get wild boars. So I mean, what the hell's the difference?" But because of course I don't see little bitty quails getting tusked and tearing up stuff and everything else. But that's what they told me. So I just gotta play by the rules for time being, and kind of be whatever. But there's a few other things that I'm gonna be doing here soon that hopefully everything takes off the way it should. But if it doesn't, no big deal, no harm, no foul. I'll have to find a different route and do what I was planning on doing. There's going to be a slight issues with transportation for the market. The blazer's still not fixed. It was supposed to have been done way before the other vehicle was fixed, but it still sits in the side yard with a screwed up what's it called? Control arm. And so I'm gonna have to get me a reese hitch and mount it to the car and have it actually mounted and welded to the car. And I'm probably just gonna have to put my trailer on the back of the car and put the canopy and tables on the trailer and put the food in the car, and go to market with the trailer behind the car and do it that way. Which if it happens, it happens. Nothing I can do about it. But the good thing about it is at least if I do have a ball hitch on the back of the car, instead of dragging my great big ass 5x8 trailer, I can find me a smaller trailer, like a 4x6 or like something of that nature, and put the stuff on there. Smaller trailer, easier to maneuver and drive around with, and do it that way. I don't want to buy a brand new 4x6 trailer because the trailer I have out here in the yard, which is a 6x8, I bought it in 2020 or 2021, and I paid like $600 for it. The same trailer, made more cheaply than what mine is now $800 to $900, and yeah, that's crazy. And I mean, mine's not the greatest, but it's a hell of a lot better built than the ones that are selling now for $800 to $900. But that's the American way. That's why we import more garbage and we don't export anything, and that's the problem with the country, because we bring in so much crap, and most of the time it's crap. And the American worker that would actually, years ago, that would take pride in their work, now everybody wants $30 an hour to do a $10 an hour job, and there's no love or respect in their job. So if they do make anything, half the time it's garbage. And yeah, just call it for what it is. That's why we get so much crap made in China, because these companies are like, well, if you don't want to work and you want to hire a wage and do half the labor for the wage, we'll just close up shop and we'll send our corporation crap overseas to somebody that's making pennies on the year, and they'll be glad to do your job and make a whole lot less wage, and that's what they do. And so technically, and this is what kills me too, I love this. Oh, I love this. Now, with everybody from Mexico that's coming to the U.S. in waves, and people are like, oh, they're taking our jobs, they're taking our jobs. Well, if you get off your ass and do the job that they're taking, there wouldn't be an issue. But it's not going to happen. Because I haven't seen too many 300-pound fat people wanting to carry bricks up a ladder to lay brick. I don't see very many 200 to 400-pound fat people doing, being out in the field, cutting tobacco or cutting corn, or, doing any kind of hard labor work that doesn't require air conditioning or going through McDonald's drive-through. I mean, it's just, everybody wants to sit on their ass, eat like a pig, and then be like, well, they're taking our jobs. No, they're not. They're coming here taking the jobs that you're too lazy to do, and you want to make every excuse in the world not to do. So they're coming up here taking the jobs that are available, which there's plenty of them. And I don't have an issue with it. If most of my family came from Europe in the late 1800s, I would say most, a portion of my family came over from Europe in the late 1800s as immigrants. All of my family, on my mom's side, my grandfather's parents, my grandfather's side of the family, my grandmother's side of the family, they were all immigrants. Because they all came from Europe or England or Scotland or Ireland, They were all immigrants, even though they've lived here for 200 plus years. My mom's side of the family, their families have been here before, way before it was even considered United States of America. My grandfather's side of the family, they started here originally in 1640. My grandmother's side came in between 1700 and 1750s. So, call it what you call it. Now, on my dad's side, they came in the later part of the 1800s. But, it's okay. That's how it is. And I don't have an issue with people wanting to leave poverty to make a better life. I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. Now, doing it legally and properly is the way you should do it. Paying some dude to smuggle your ass across the Rio Grande in some remote area, and for you to just come in and, oh, here you are. No, I don't agree with that at all. But if you do it legally, and honestly, I don't have an issue in the world with it. I really don't. The more the merrier, because I love Mexican cooking. I have a buddy of mine down in Texas. He's sent me up some peppers from Mexican style peppers. Some Mexican packaging. Some of it's in Mexican or Spanish. Some of it's in English. I love it. I plan on getting more soon. I found some stuff that's similar to it. Of course, I gotta send him some more stuff down there along with some money, so that way he can retrieve some more of these peppers that I'm wanting. And so that way, when I send him some money down there, he can buy the peppers and ship them back to me without it costing him anything. Because I tell you what, man, the stuff he sent me not too long ago, I ground that stuff up in a powder, and oh my God, it's so good, it's crazy. And I'm still going to have my weapon grade chili powder, but I'm going to have this other stuff as well, and this can be a game changer. I mean, it's crazy. And there's so many things I'm doing different, that I'm going to have like a different avenue for a market this year that's going to make me more money, I hope. And then on top of it, I'm not going to be at market every weekend, because there's times we're going to go fishing. There's times we're going to go in the woods. So like, not so much on the weekends, but, during the week of, say if I plan on, say, the third weekend of May, if I'm not going to go to market from Monday to Sunday, I'm going to be doing something of 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 of them days, I'm going to be in the woods looking for roots and plants and everything else. So if I'm going to be in the woods for anywhere between 1 to 5 days, I'm not going to have time to cook anything, so that's my outlook. And then if I'm out in the woods, I got to take this with me or something like this with me so I can record, show you what I'm doing and everything else. And that way y'all get to see some new area and everything else, and I get to have some decent content, and it is what it is. But I've talked long enough. I have a feeling I've extended my video time frame that more than I should, so I'm just going to go ahead and shut up, and hopefully here soon after I have my surgery, and if I feel up to it, I'll make a video, explain what took place. If not, then you'll see me whenever you see me. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time. Make the best of it. Don't waste it. Be productive as much as possible. Keep your nose clean and your powder dry, and everything should be okay.